Fuentes had to say, because I think that this is the type of rhetoric that fuels this type of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out where we should start. It's so much to unpack. Do you want?
I think let's see a regular video coming from them directly before we go into this. Let's look at a regular video first and see exactly what, because some people don't understand what we're talking about.
Okay, so let's find the return to the land. Hold on. All right. So let's get into it, all right? I'm going to give a shout out to Sky
What
News.
we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
Over the last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses. They call it an intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
I think we would generally be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references?
Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
A seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible because of a new political and technological moment. One with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own, for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful, and you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Arkansas, in the southern United States.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:27.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organizing online, a network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical, real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, Lone Wolf? What's up, Balanced Touch? What's up, Salia Bay Binya? Listen, I'm not gonna get up off these people's head with this nonsense. Yes, Creek Cherokee here. Yes, Europe. Hello, using our indigenous knowledge. Why they bullies put us in poverty? Yes, exactly. Shalom, peace to the viewers, listeners. Yes, I'm not getting up off their head, y'all. And there's more people that's talking about this. I got more videos, some more information on this, but I'm gonna start off just discussing this BS. And I got Queen here. She didn't hear about this, and so I'm gonna replay, like showing her what's going on with this, and then we're gonna talk about it. Let's go.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do. I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric All, and he's invited me to spend a few days with him.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, Because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they're being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
160 acres, taking shape. Forest cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met
First
here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here.
I met here.
First off, they lying. Ain't no cabins built. Honey, they live in trailers and tents. It's a cult, y'all. Like, just first of all, let me just outline that. They're building a cult. And for some reason, before they built anything, they got all up on the news promoting it. So to me, they need help. They need money. So they're gonna do all this media blitz and get all this media, but really they ain't making they need money. They need help. Okay. So they're over here showing this barren land and saying, listen, we're building a community, and they're getting money from white people to build this so-called community. But they're living in trailers and tents. Let's be real. Look behind them. Trailer here, tent over here, lunch tables. Okay. So let's be real. This is not a community that has been built. I don't even understand what they're talking about this stuff until they get done building it. For real.
Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, right.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. They wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules.
You know how stupid these people are to really buy into an idea that they're the only all-white town in America right now. Like, these people really think that they're doing something new, and they're not. Okay.
Against it, then anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to white people and white children. And so
specifically sort of motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things the head is about?
Yeah. I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL, what they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. There are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted, and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll survive contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
Hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace it?
I'm alive. I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore.
We don't know what racism is. So they're trying to redefine words and try to pretend like they don't know what things mean, what words mean. This is the thing with this new administration is what is kind of like letting people, these kind of groups, come out and be able to really be themselves. And then they're trying to cloak themselves into, oh no, we're not racist. We just want to create a town for our own selves and blah, blah, blah.
Machiavelli. It's Machiavellian. It's called Machiavellian behavior. You know what I'm saying? When they try to redefine themselves, you know what I'm saying, and separate themselves from very base root definitions like racism and stuff like that. Now, I'll say this: we do it too, because black folks act like black people can't be racist. You know what I'm saying? I always say I'm racial and not racist, but sometimes I can be racist. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, it's a defense mechanism on my part. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's the Machiavellian behavior that you're seeing, where they're trying to repackage the same old horse shit and throw some sugar on top. Yeah.
But they always want to blame the Democrats. It's the Democrats. No, these are people, you know, they always.
Oh, I cannot stand that. It's like, oh, the liberals, you got to be liberal. You can make a statement.
God, I'm so fucking tired of this.
These super hyper political white folks who are, you know what I'm saying, the conservatives, they always want to use the term liberal as a derogatory term, like liberal is the new word for nigger, or the FAG word. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They literally,
if you're LGBT, if you're black,
you got to be you're a liberal.
Yeah,
you
Democrat, and so that's the new thing. The Democrats are doing
right. Woke and liberal are now a derogatory term, y'all. And I'm not even a liberal. I'm registered as a Republican.
Right. I'm independent. I'm not even a
hold on, who are you talking to, bro?
I'm independent. I don't even believe in political parties. I don't vote no specific political party. So that's what's crazy. They want to blame it on Democrats all the time.
Yeah, no, I vote my interest.
Like
but you know,
saying, Al Qaeda. Ain't no such thing as Al Qaeda. They made that thing up to like have a fake
Al Qaeda. Right.
See,
See, my mom told me years ago, she said, register as Republican. You know what I'm saying? You'll see how many different job opportunities and stuff are actually open to you if you actually, you know what I'm saying, registered as a conservative. So I've always done that ever since I was able to register. You know what I'm saying? But not because I vote one political party over another. I vote my interests. And I really don't vote like that, to be honest with you. I'm not really into it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, statewide I will. Not the you know, the presidential stuff. I don't even agree with. I don't even think that is. I think it's unfair. Yeah.
The presidential election is nothing more than a tracking device, because I mean, come on, they said that the votes were like seeded anyway, like that Elon Musk had something to do with that. I don't even know how true that is.
Well, they ever since I think it was Biden administration, when they first had made the claim of what do you call it, voter registration tampering or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you know what I'm saying, it's been a hot mess. Now you can't even trust the polls, whether it's liberal or Republican, whether it's going one or the other way. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's trying to manipulate the polls. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm probably more independent too. You know what I'm saying, DJ Genesis.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was always told to register as a Republican since I was 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's go. All right, here we go.
The prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
A lot of this is reaction to left-wing identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics, but white identity politics. And what they're building here is a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary. It's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside, the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full-time. And they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
Look at this food. Come on now, y'all. I'm gonna keep pausing. Every time I do a video, I'm be like, "What are you?"
Not even a speckle of pepper on that thing.
in there, just started cooking it. Didn't put nothing on it.
Throw
And
some
you know
raisins
she's
in
gonna cook it all the way. She gonna put it on one side, put it on the other, and serve it. It's gonna be all kind of blood coming out of it. There,
Probably ain't gonna cook it right.
Eating that shit, they just have blood just seeping down their mouth.
She ain't gonna cook it that long. She ain't gonna cook it that long. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Come on now. Ain't no salt or nothing on that. And then here's the thing. I also want to talk about how look at how they're pretending like they're doing stuff. Okay. I just want
no rosemary, no rosemary, no thyme, no oregano, no nut.
Right. Hold on. I want to show this. This is the challenge. I want people to invest in this.
Politics, but white.
What is this? What are they building here? Is it a fence? Maybe I don't know. But come on now. This before they should have had this set up before they did one news interview.
And what they're building here is a
And
safe
what is
space.
he doing? What is he doing? Wrapping a rubber band? What are we doing here? It's fake. It's like y'all
For
are
people
just
of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary. It's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
What's she doing? She up here with a cup of a bottle of water with some plants inside of it, like to pretend like she doing something. She should have got some herbs to put into whatever this.
The men labor at the roadside.
They
The
about to
women
cook
of Return
over
to
here.
the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full time. And they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
That's what
Back in the day.
How many people they got there again? They got 40 people there, and she cooking this little bit of meat for 40 people. What are we doing? Why are we lying? Why are we pretending like we cooking for 40 people, and when you got like this little bit of food? It's probably like maybe 5-6 people there. Stop lying, guys.
Little splash of hot sauce and some.
Right, that's not enough food for 40 people, man. Listen, you're gonna go get a pressure cooker or a what's the thing, slow cooker, and put all your stuff into the slow cooker.
She only cooking for her family. She only cooking for her family. She ain't cooking for the community.
When we first got the land here, there were only about 5 guys. I was living 40 minutes from here, and Jennifer was the first family to be on the land full time. So we started community dinners back then. And it'd be pretty relaxed because there weren't many people, but it is nice. It's slowly growing. So
They've come here to live for a variety of reasons, but their dedication to the mission is absolute.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32.
Cool.
I'm a lady.
my name's Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N.
Right.
I'm 29.
Right.
And Caitlin, C-A-I-T-L-I-N. I'm 31.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
You know what? How much you want to bet they don't really live there right now? They just come out there every day and just do stuff on it. They do not live there right now. You can't tell me they live there. There's no buildings where they can live at. Where do they live at? Now, the person, her and her husband, or if she even got a husband, whatever, she might live in the trailer. But everybody else, I don't believe that they live there. They said there's 40 people living there. I don't see where 40 people have a place to live at.
Well, that we hate everyone else.
Yeah,
it's not about that.
Yeah,
I think
it's a loving movement.
On that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be you could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. If other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense.
But the goal is to have lots of these communities, and for it maybe not to be rural, for there to be cities on the same basis, right?
Yeah, that would be neat. I look forward to seeing how this movement grows over time.
There are other ways to increase numbers. Nikki, Caitlin, and Allison all met their partners at the community. And RTTL is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth. Just before we arrived, they had donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of have big families, to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't think so. I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
There's not a lot to show around here. I basically just have the whole pasture area.
Peter is unattached. This is his homestead. He's been on a journey. He told me he used to be a liberal, a hippie even.
The knife is a tool.
It has to be very sharp in order to cut properly.
He founded a commune in Ecuador, an intentional community based not on ethnicity, but veganism.
So this is your lot?
Yeah.
He's also immersed in internet culture, someone who delights in provoking reactions, a troll. On the group chat on the messaging app Telegram, he's posted the numbers 1488. The 14 refers to the 14 words, a white supremacist slogan. And H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So 88 means HH, which means Heil Hitler.
Because you put that in the Telegram, for instance. What does that mean when you place that in Telegram 1488?
Well, I use it as kind of like a funny comment throwback.
As part of that Nazi discussion, another frequent topic on the online chat is the Holocaust, usually minimized, sometimes even mocked.
But the Holocaust, stands as a unique crime in the history of
Well, that's your
humanity,
opinion.
really.
I think the Holodomor was much worse than the Holocaust. That's my opinion. I mean, we're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can say they're both bad. The Holocaust was bad.
But do you know anything about the Holodomor?
Yeah, in Ukraine,
Right.
the famine, I know a little bit about it. And I know it was awful too, and
Right,
it's sort of
right.
deliberate. But we can also agree the Holocaust is bad.
Well, we don't have to say that one was objectively worse than the other.
I'm not saying
but-
one. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like what is the Holocaust a bad thing.
So basically, all I'm saying is that I don't really see it as concerning that people are talking about Hitler when it's acceptable, it's publicly socially acceptable in the United States for leftists to support German Mao.
It's quite difficult to agree on even the very bare minimum here.
It's just interesting. Sort of when we're coming to talking about the Holocaust, it's always about something else. And I think most people would agree the Holocaust was a bad thing.
Right.
But you're not willing to.
Listen, you can't tell me in a year they're not going to end up either. Something going to end up happening over here because they got too much opposing views. Now, unless they're following that one main leader and he's like their messiah or something like that, I don't really see. I think it's too many extra smart people over there that all probably are real super strong in their views. This could be a dangerous situation. Okay. And I'm here for it.
So agree with that.
What do you want to talk about the whole? I mean, it
fine.
seems like an interesting subject, but
it is an interesting subject. I also think that was a bad thing, but I think the Holocaust was a bad thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, are you
But-
asking
well,
a
no,
question?
well, yeah, I'm asking. Do you think the Holocaust was bad?
Yeah, I think the Holocaust was bad.
RTTL is based on exclusion, but that also means building community for those allowed inside. This isn't just for our camera's benefit to present a veneer of clean, healthy living. It's central to the project. Like many far-right movements before them, RTTL's mission is to show that by excluding others, they can live purer, more natural lives. As they put it on their website, to cultivate wholesomeness, beauty, health, and hope. Let's talk about hope. As much as RTTL might like, they do not exist in a separate world. Pocahontas is
This is David Koresh.
Oh, Jim. I literally about 5 minutes ago pulled up a video of the Waco, Texas compound, the David Koresh compound. That one, and then you got to look at the Owaspie compound in Australia. There is a
Ain't black people follow Owaspie?
Who?
Aren't black people following Owaspie? Are you talking about the people that was debating
there's a lot of
on
black
Owaspie?
There's a lot of black cats who are joining Owaspie. Yeah. And not even looking back at the history of it and the compounds they used to have in Australia and other places as well. You know what I'm saying? Very cultish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm huge on pointing out the cults. You know what I'm saying?
This looks like a cult. It looks like a cult. Now, of course, you're gonna have them go talk to a black person. I'm not even gonna go into that because I mean,
how you drinking the flavor aid? You know what I'm saying? With a little extra sprinkles or something.
People are worried about this and we're worried about that, but that's not the point. Like, I'm just like, look at this.
These are all the white supremacist incidents, demonstrations, leafleting, recruitment drives, meetups over the last 4 years in the US, tracked by ACLED, an organization that monitors violent conflict and protest. There has been a dramatic increase over that period. It has become a background thrum of nationalist activity. Patriot Front is the most active white nationalist organization in the US right now, according to ACLED. Its leader is Thomas Rousseau.
Foreign races have never successfully assimilated en masse into American culture and nationality.
And the group has tight links to Return to the Land. Eric and Thomas speak on each other's podcasts and have fast-track membership for both organizations.
Comfy?
Feels good.
Yeah.
It's about time we spoke to Eric.
Less than 50% of children born today in the US are white. I'm white. My kids are white. There is something to your background that informs who you are, your sense of identity. And we don't want that sense of identity being taken away from us involuntarily. So we're taking control of that situation and creating an environment where my kids can celebrate their identity and not have it, you know.
Well, wait, let me just ask this question. What part of the identity do they want to celebrate? Because I don't think Black people, you know what I'm saying, Black Americans, we've never had a problem with celebrating, you know what I'm saying, Irish, you know what I'm saying, the St. Patrick's Day. We've never had a problem with European culture. I think what they want to celebrate is the you know, their ability to colonize and basically, you know, do anything they want to every other people. That's the only problem I think anyone has ever had with European culture, is their desire to be supreme over others and cause harm to Native Americans and indigenous, you know what I'm saying, Black African Americans of this country. So
and then the more that we find out that a lot of like the cultures in America were Native American, the Black culture. Now,
right, but now, you know, we never had a problem sharing in anyone else's culture. We've never had that problem as a people. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most beautiful things about American culture is the diversity. You know what I'm saying? You could go and eat Chinese food today, eat Japanese tomorrow, eat tacos the next day, go to a freaking Italian restaurant on a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Go to a freaking Irish pub and have a drink and play some pool on a Friday. We ain't never had a problem with culture. The only problem we've ever had is with supremacy.
And why do they think that they can't practice their culture without white supremacy involved in it?
Right. No, that's because that's what they want to be proud of. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I'm speculating. That's what I think. I think that the real thing that they want to be proud of the identity is not just like, you know, Polish and Irish and you know what I'm saying, English culture, but actually being proud of being a bunch of freaking daggone parasitic, invasive fucking, you know what I'm saying, frecklebacks on the rest of humanity. I said what I said.
Right.
Hey, Queen, so fine. So, hi, girl.
Queen, do you have any thoughts so far? Or you want to?
I have a lot, but I'll let y'all finish. I thought we was gonna get into it, but I'm letting y'all talk. So when y'all get done, I'll probably chime in.
Okay, get into what?
When we get through with the video and stuff, I'll get into it.
Yeah, let's get
Oh, okay, all right. We only got a little bit more left. Let's go.
Threatened from outside, I guess.
But why is that threatening you? Why is that an issue that you've had to address? You know, there will always be white people.
Well, I'm feeling a little nervous now in the interview. We are forced to accept people into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and into our lives who won't share our background, who won't share many of our cultural priors, even moral priors. We don't have a rule stating, you know, if you have X amount of non-European ancestry, you're definitely out. In many cases, yeah, that would disqualify someone.
Were I to apply to the PMA, my views were different. I'd probably be allowed in. Do you think that's likely? I know it's a case-by-case basis, but just off the top of your heads.
Yeah, possibly we would accept you in the PMA.
I don't understand white American culture, but you'd rather have me in that case. I just wonder, though, whether some people watching this, having heard all this intellectualizing, this rhetoric, will say, fine, but actually at heart, this is just, you know, it is just prejudice. It is just bigotry. It is just lowest common denominator racism dressed up in these arguments.
And I would just question the moral frame. Why is it wrong to identify with your own people, want an integrated culture where you can be yourself?
Just to boil it down to, what for you is the definition of racism?
When I was a kid, I suppose I interpreted racism to be judging someone solely on the basis of their race. And is that a good or bad thing? I think this basic moral consensus treats it as automatically a bad thing without a lot of reflection.
This is my last day here. And before I go, I want to speak to John, not a leader like Eric or Pete or Scott, but an acolyte, a young one and newly arrived. He's only been here a month.
I'm trying to knock off some of this more good topsoil, give it some more
We'd seen him when we first came up. He guided us in on his bicycle.
It's just you have a community where you feel like you belong here. You have people you can talk to, and I can't explain it. It's too beautiful. It's nice.
He'd been working on Scott's new house over the weekend. In return for his labor, he gets cheap rent. John dropped out of college, and he's worked jobs all over the United States. He's 26, younger than the leaders who are all in their 30s. If they are the recruiters, he is the perfect recruit. For John, the primary motivation was financial.
To me, it's economical. It's an economic decision, right? And you know, everything else just kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
But the main thing to me is cheap land. Everything else is a bonus.
You've got 2 levels here.
Yep, got a loft up top, and this is the main area.
So living area down here. So it's quite comfy, right?
Yeah,
It is.
he sleeps on the floor, clearly. This is his little pillow where he sleep at, and he got his little computer probably where he looks at porn on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is that this is their ideal of a new community. But here's the thing. They always find people that are like probably marginalized, maybe homeless. Those are the type of people that end up in these kind of communities, these like displaced individuals, and they use them for labor. So as much as they're all like us return to the land, it's going to be a return of a lot of like homeless people into the land. And that's good. If they get them off the street, they live in there, the white town, fine. But I think that we should also know that this is a cult. I'm sorry, it's a cult.
Quite comfy. As for excluding people, I don't see it that way. We're trying to embrace our culture and our heritage. It's been denigrated, if you ask me. We've turned into a melting pot of a country for a long time now.
There is one.
We've turned into a melting pot of a country, okay? And I have to stop it every once in a while because I can't just play it all the way through. It's not my video, you know? But we've turned into a melting pot of a country. And there's an issue with the fact that they were a melting pot. However, this is not their country. It's crazy how when they took claim of it and announced their country, and now nobody else needs to. They want to find this should have been a white country in their mind. This should have been just stayed white. It should have never been no black people or no Indian, whatever. This is their country in their mind, based on their unalienable right that they felt that this was supposed to be their country.
Last thing before I go. A concert put on in honor of our visit.
This first piece that Peter and I are performing, it's called The Virginia Colonies by Fred Cooper. The English governor returned to take his place.
Eric himself takes the stage.
This is a Baroque flute, also known as the German flute or the penny whistle. It was a very popular instrument in colonial America.
It's not easy to look tough with a flute, even if it's German. But the audience is rapt.
If you don't get the hell up out of here. As soon as I do leave, they're going to turn the radio and listen to some hip hop. Some rock and roll, okay? They're not listening to them playing flutes and stuff all day, and that's their entertainment. This is performative. As soon as that guy leaves, they're going to put on some.
You so silly.
As soon as that reporter leave, they fixing to put all them flutes down and does something to hurrah, hurrah. All that like colonial performative.
Yeah,
God dang on well, they are not playing that when the camera's down. And if they play some rock and roll, they'll be like, oh well, that's black music. That Little Richard and them started rock and roll. Okay, all right, well, country, but that started with bluegrass and instead, old black music. any music that you come up with that's mainstream, so they gotta pretend like they're going back to the slave times and the German flutes and all this other crazy. Singing old.
When the cameras go off, they start popping and locking. They start breakdancing.
As soon as he leaves, they're gonna be like, boom, boom, boom. Damn well they're not sitting there listening to flutes and all this bullshit. Come on now.
Would America be better as a white nation state?
Better in what sense?
Would you prefer, completely blank slate? America is just an ethnically white country.
I would probably feel more comfortable there because I'm white, and that's the way that this country was when my ancestors came here.
you also talk about Hitler in your videos a couple of times when you've talked about people are waiting around for a new Hitler to come. And you said he's not going to show up. You have to do the
no,
work
it
for that
wasn't.
Hitler to arrive.
Hitler is a very controversial historical figure. I think the mainstream view is one-sided. It's informed by World War II propaganda, but also that the contrary position that Hitler did nothing wrong that many people online say, that's also a one-sided view. I think all historical figures are complex, multidimensional. But when I say you're gonna have to wait for that new Hitler to arise, I'm not saying you're gonna have to wait for a new person to start a new Holocaust. I'm saying you're gonna have to wait for a charismatic leader who's going to advocate for your interests, because that's how a lot of people see Hitler. I'm addressing how they think of Hitler, not my own view.
There are other PMAs, other bits of land that are going ahead.
Yeah, there are 2 other groups, actually 3, organizing, one in Appalachia, one in the Pacific Northwest, and then another one here in Arkansas.
So this is the growing movement.
Right now it's growing very quickly. Yeah, we have applicants every week. I would like to see more communities so that people in all parts of the US have this as an option if they want it. I would also like to see us network and branch out internationally to a greater extent.
Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't asked about?
I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not, for me, it is more the objection. I think the way we've talked about it is, I don't think it is like a country club. That's the difference. I don't think this is sort of free association. I think you are depriving people of a fundamental right to housing. That's how I see this issue. And I think the reason I'm asking those questions about where it goes from here, I think that is a thought experiment. But I think if you replicated it large, I think I would be unhappy with how that looked. If it
I don't agree with him. I don't agree that he's stopping people from housing. I think that I am so happy. I think everybody and their grandma that don't like being in the world, they need to go up there and help them build that little town up and let them be up in the woods and do them. Do y'all. Ain't nobody mad. Black people are not mad about this. I'm like, go ahead, y'all. You know how many what they call towns called like sundown towns there are? This is nothing new. I don't know why they think they're doing something new. Let's go.
Oh, West Virginia looking ass.
Right.
You think intentional communities shouldn't be able to associate how they like?
Not on the basis of race.
And the Arkansas State Attorney General told us, "This is the first I've heard of these allegations. Racial discrimination has no place in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society. These allegations raise all sorts of legal issues, including constitutional concerns. My office is reviewing the matter."
Oh, he done snitched to the Arkansas government. I don't think they're gonna do nothing about it. They don't. As long as they paying them land taxes and whatever, they don't care about that.
This is how members of Return to the Land often spend their evenings, around the campfire. It's not especially kumbaya when it's about keeping other races out.
Splice this into the shots we use. Somebody says something like a little bit like racist, just
like
switch to the gasoline blowing up in the fire.
The bulldozer isn't just a novel way to build a fire. It's also a reminder that this group's ambitions extend far beyond cozy get-togethers in the hills.
I think Scott's bringing more wood over. Yeah, we might have to over
The conditions and materials for that to happen, the politics and the technology, have been on hand for some time now. And once set alight, who knows how fiercely it will burn.
I thought they said it was 40 people living there. I only see 5. Anyway.
Who the flames will touch.
So I want to give a shout out to Sky News for this this content that we are using to discuss this. Let's get into our thoughts, and then we're gonna play some of the other thoughts videos that I found. What are y'all thoughts? Let's start. Who wants to go first? Reverend Greensboro.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm not impressed. It's been done already, and there's many more that are just not getting televised. It's been happening. It's been happening before Waco. It's just what it is. It's but in this day and age, I'd be willing to bet that this is all a grift. This particular one.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I think
A money grab. Yep. I suspect he will end up disappearing. I'm not sure how much they're being ripped off or overcharged for this dream of theirs of let's build healthy white families because they have a low birth rate in this country. Them specifically, their demographic, they are in the red, not just here in this country, but globally.
Absolutely. Yep.
If you line up and tally by ratio, every white person in this country who classifies themselves as white, the average age would be 48 years old. Therefore, who is going to transfer the power when you have an aging population with low birth rates? President Trump, might I say, who is the greatest president of the United States, also is trying to help them with IVF. It was either immigration, mass immigration, which was another source. They didn't want that. They didn't want that because they didn't want to mix race. This is why the immigrations, the Hispanics were here for them, to introduce another species to multiply their numbers, their low birth rates. However, they took Trump, which I have no problem with. And I feel unless they all get IVF, I mean, hey, this is what it is. Demographic winter.
All right, your thoughts, Zion?
Are you skipping me?
No, I'm just listening now.
Okay, go ahead, Queen. No, I'm going.
Let him go ahead. I can wait.
No, he said he didn't have anything. So I'm going.
No, I don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm in agreement with him on the birth rate thing. You know what I'm saying? I just got finished arguing with a white racist CO, a correctional officer, the other day. You know what I'm saying? Who wanted to sit here and try to minimize, African Americans. And meanwhile, you know what I'm saying, y'all can barely freaking daggone get it up, much less have a baby. So yeah, no, I'm following.
He's incentivizing it. They gave a family $1,000 for just getting pregnant. So they're incentivizing, being able to have children, so maybe that's or maybe that's what they needed to do.
Did you ever see that video where these white rich white cats were trying to get black women to donate their ovum?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Pay them the ovum for their ovum because the black women have what's called the Eve gene. You know what I'm saying, which is so important to women's fertility. Not only is white male fertility on the decline, but white women's fertility is on the decline too. So it's not just the men who are having erectile dysfunctions and you know what I'm saying, it's the women too. So, that's why we got so much test tube, you know what I'm saying, science going on, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to preserve species and all of that stuff. And the only way, and you're not really going to be able to classify a test tube baby as white because they're a test tube baby. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother special, you know what I'm saying? Whether I don't care where you got the DNA from, you know what I'm saying? But I'm absolutely, I'm in agreement with you, brother.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir. And I also saw that that segment that you speak on. One of them he's from Canada, but he's in jail, I believe, right now. I believe his last name starts with a B. I forget what it was. But he did approach them with money incentives, the black females. A lot of them were from Africa. And they didn't appear to be feeling it on camera. Hey, that's how it goes, though. It's serious like that.
Hold on, Queen. We got I was about to go to her next to get her breakdown. Hold on. Let's see where she went. Oops, sorry. Did she get mad? I hope not. Let's go. Let's see.
That's interesting.
But while I'm talking to her, I'm gonna bring up this next video where we had Godfrey speaking on the subject.
Did she fall out? She fell out.
I think that she got mad. Okay, well, I don't know. Well, let's go. We'll keep going. Let's go.
Janaba, a new 160-acre community located in the Ozark Hills in Arkansas, is drawing a lot of attention for only allowing white Americans to stay. The settlement, named Return to the Land, is garnering headlines for excluding Black people, Jewish people, and gay people, vetting its members based on European ancestry through interviews and a membership screening process. As the story continues to gain more traction, several notable figures are speaking out against the whites-only community, including Godfrey, who will make a video response on his Instagram, roasting the founders and their members.
Meanwhile, back at racism headquarters, what the is white culture? That sounds like an oxymoron.
Yes.
White culture. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. Is you coming and all the Native Americans and putting them on reservations and bringing slaves to build your country? Murder, deception, disrespect, denigration. That's what I think white culture is. White culture to me would be in Europe. That's what I think. So you would take that bullshit you're talking about back to Europe where the fuck you belong. I hope all you racist white people go way up in those mountains, go way up there, because I think you're originally from the fucking mountains. If you're going to keep this all white, I want you all to keep it 100. There better not be any taco trucks around there when you get hungry. Stick with your food, which is probably European, which is like what? Bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, and Wiener Schnitzel and beer. That's all you get. And no fucking Black women or Asian women or Latin women. Right.
In addition to his video, Godfrey will also elaborate his point through a caption writing, "There's a group of white people who decided to build a whites-only town in Arkansas. I figured they would have already have white-only towns in a place like Arkansas, so I'm not really surprised." The guy who's explaining it in the video said that they're trying to preserve white culture. What the hell is white American culture? Is it you coming and murdering all the Native Americans and putting them on reservations and bringing in slaves? White culture to me would be in Europe. That's what I think. White American culture is nothing but hatred and separatism. Real American culture would be the natives. If we want to be real, I hope all you racist white people go way up in the mountains if you're gonna keep it all white. I bet not see no taco trucks, no soul food, no Caribbean food, no Asian food, no nothing. Stick with your European food, which is probably angers and mash, shepherd's pie, Wiener Schnitzel, and beer. That's all you get. And you can't listen to any American music because it's all stemmed from Black people. And you can't have sex with any of our women. No cheating. I'm just trying to teach you how to be a good racist. Now, in his rant, Godfrey will call out the community by trying to define white culture, chalking it up to mainly violence and destruction. He would also advise those staying in the whites-only community to keep everything white, including food, music, and entertainment. Some social media users would agree with Godfrey via his Instagram comments, with one user admitting, "Unpopular opinion, good for them. These type of people should be separated. At least we know them and where to find them. Can you imagine if one of them were your child's teacher?"
Could you imagine? Hey, and listen, Queen, come back up. Why'd you leave? I was about to have you, and I wanted to give your opinion. I was going counterclockwise in the comments because I knew you were going to probably have the most to say. So I was waiting on let everybody else and then let you give your summary. So I don't know why you went down. So come back up if you can, please. We are also broadcasting on Queen Dee Said It's podcast. So looking for that. All right. It won't be on a flood plan for real after what I watched yesterday. Okay. Interesting. So let's go.
While another social media user would jokingly write, "Damn, even the dog white?" One more user would say, "Keep it resources or anything invented by anyone Black, Jewish, or gay. Good luck." Another would chime in and write, "I actually love this for them. Please stay out in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, far away from the rest of us. Thank you. Also, historically, whites-only spaces collapse within themselves due to greed, disease, and horrible treatment of women and children. So it's only a matter of time before it implodes either way." Now, according to Sky News, currently about 40 people live on site, with hundreds more having paid for a membership. That same source would also report that some members are even police officers and federal agents. The community believes allowing its members to buy land as LLC shares tied to the personal plots allows them to bypass civil rights.
Right. So, hold on. That ended like that?
Community believes allowing its members to buy land as LLC shares tied to the personal plots allows them to bypass civil rights.
All right. So I think he was saying past civil rights properties. So basically, what do y'all think about this? What do you think about it? Do you think that this is I don't know. I don't get it. You know,
No, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no problems with them freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, isolating themselves and going into their own communities. Because when we start having our own communities, don't fuck with us. Leave us the fuck alone. Keep your little airplanes and your little bombs and shit to yourself and let us motherfucking fly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If you hate black people and people of color so fucking much that you have to freaking daggone, stockpile guns and hide in the woods somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So you're happy freaking being able to marry your own sister. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with it.
Right. So I wanted to show that, okay, so you would think that it would be black people that were reacting to this in a negative way. The black people are saying we don't care, but the white people are the ones that are really having an issue with it. So let's go.
All white community that these people want to build in Arkansas. Guess what? The locals don't even want them there. These people that are going there are from different parts of the country, different parts of the United States. Pause to read. So the locals in Arkansas are trying to kick your ass out. The white people in Arkansas don't even want you there. You're not wanted. The locals are trying to get rid of you. So I think it's better if you all want to make your all-white community, you go off to an island somewhere. You're like that plague that everybody's trying to isolate. So yeah, just go to an island, find an island, purchase an island. You probably don't have any money because you have nothing anyways. So yeah, try to go somewhere else, like an island or something. You'll be really great on an island. Perfect. Just go to an island. The people from the North Sentinel Island really want you to visit them. Really go visit them. They would love that. Go ahead and try to colonize them. See how that goes.
The white folks got their own neighborhood. Nobody's allowed over there. What y'all think about this? You know what it sounds like to me? Boring.
Quite clear. No one cares about the whites' only land. The blacks don't care. The whites don't care either, as you can see. Don't forget to share your thoughts on this topic down in the comments below.
So just like a response to the Arkansas whites only town, I just want to say kudos to you guys. I'm really impressed with the way that you guys are doing something that's not new. And in fact, all over America, there's always been a whites only town. It's just they're not talking about it on media, and they're not bold enough to put themselves and their kids on media and admitting it. In fact, I don't think many of them are well aware of the actions and the everyday things that they do that make it so difficult for outsiders to join their community. So kudos to you guys for being that bold. Second, in any sort of self-organizing organization, there will always be a hierarchy. It is evident that white Americans do not have a sense of community or a sense of tradition or heritage that has been passed on in a way that makes them feel whole and strong and whatever it is, because MAGA is what's taken over and it's helping them feel good. And I'm only saying this because I am a son of immigrants. Like my grandfather was a Vietnamese dude. He helped the Americans. My other grandfather was a white guy who was in the Vietnam War and did not take responsibility for his Vietnamese family. And so as a product of war, I'm here now, and I've learned how quickly tradition and culture from my background is going to die out, like within 3 generations. And that is sad because then you have all these features and you're like, where did I come from? Well, like, why do I have all this black hair and these types of features. Why do I look so different from my other Vietnamese counterparts? I get it. So like from a white American perspective, you guys came from the good old Europe. And I guess some of you guys are now from like South Africa. But the European Americans that are having these white things going on, like I hope you guys know that you all were like against each other back in the day. Like the Italians and Germans, you guys are white, but you know, back in the day, y'all weren't friendly. It is mind blowing to me that this is happening and that it's happening in America. It's not mind blowing that it's happening in America. It's mind blowing to me that I am existing in America as it is happening. So that's wild. Again, kudos to you guys. I really hope that you guys understand the lay of the land. I hope that you guys take note of like the genetic components that happen, like the genetics that exist within you guys, and then recognize like are these genes going to be like great for living in Arkansas, living in an environment where the temperature is going to be hotter, where the sun is going to be a little bit more intense. Yeah, just, you know, there's a reason why some folks.
But honey, in the winter it's going to be colder. They don't have any buildings built. Look at what they're doing. They're trying to build a log cabin or whatever they're trying to do, whatever the logs were for, maybe a gate, a fence. But like all you guys have are like, man, and I tried to tell them, listen, go down to Austin. They have a bunch of like double wides and stuff like that. You can get, if you go off 35, right off 35, down by, tell them how to do it. Go get them double wides, or get on Alibaba and order y'all some nice little place. What are y'all? Why are y'all trying to reinvent the return to the land? That, you know what this reminds me of is Nature Boy. Remember Nature Boy? He had everybody believing in going down to the tropical Capricorn. And initially they started off like trying to return to the land and it's like this is not a
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
No, he had everybody going down
to
Costa
Rica. But you know who did that first, right? You know who did that first? That was Jim Jones who went and took all those
because he said that being at that area, you're closest to the sun. It's better for you, more healthier. Because I think he was sick, you know. And he had a bunch of like come down there, and they were living like a bunch of people in tents and cave people, you know. I'm like, why do y'all have to go backwards in time to like get back to the land?
I'd say when it comes down to Jim Jones and Nature Boy, I know they're far apart from each other, but they're both vastly different from this particular situation. This is about saving white American identity. Jim Jones, his particular pick and recruitments were black people from the United States and anywhere else. He was the preacher man. He concealed his propaganda through preaching. That America's going to hell or whatever like that. We see how that worked out. And Nature Boy, his thing was more about perversion for melanated people and some bunny rabbits and
but no, Nature Boy did not start off like that. Nature Boy started off at the grocery store. I remember seeing when he first started, he said, listen, we need to eat different. We need to start being more eating vegan and this, that, the other. So before he ever went down to Costa Rica, he was actually at the grocery store beginning to eat a certain way, living in a tent. Then he moved to Costa Rica.
Okay, and then they ended up eating booties. So I'm just saying they're focusing on.
Don't end up like that. All cults start off with this good intention of bringing people together, eating vegan lifestyle, and then they start getting freaky and stuff. I don't know why it is.
How you go from eating salad to tossing salad?
That's what I'm saying. You know, like give it a minute, though. I mean, I'm not gonna put my chips all the way on. That this is not all the same. I you know, because give it a minute. Give me a minute. I may put my chips on that table where this is where it ends up. This guy's after the children. He playing the pipe. He playing the flute.
Whoa.
You know, I see, the Pied Piper, you know. I look at allegorical stories too, even fairy tales, and the Pied Piper
Yeah,
after them,
why
them
did
children, you know?
Yeah, what is up with that? Weirdo.
And the thing about David Koresh that always kills me, you know? How in the world do y'all believe that someone's the second coming when they wearing prescription glasses?
Right, Jesus.
This dude had trouble seeing. So how? But he's seeing visions of God. Come on, bro. All the time. You throw some guns in the mix. You throw some guns in the mix. That's when it's gonna get
You
interesting.
know they're gonna get some guns. When they get
Oh
out,
yeah.
they're gonna bring the artillery, and now it's gonna be a militia and everything. Let's go.
You know, I really don't think anyone should be surprised by the fact that a whites-only community is popping up in Missouri. Racist white people are going to do racist shit, okay? Especially in the current political climate. We saw this last time when Trump was president. The racists felt emboldened. They kept doing more racial bullshit. There's plenty of stats for this. Go look it up yourself. You're a grown person. That being said, we know how it's going to end. All right, this is the same as every other cult that has popped up, because I do genuinely believe that racism runs so deep in people's minds, it indoctrinates them like a cult. Especially in white communities, because white parents pass down white supremacy onto their kids because they just never learned white patriarchal society. It's one of those things that, and it's not excusable. That is not an excuse. I'm simply trying to say where it comes from. It's why so many white people talk about deconstruction, talk about going through all these things, because especially if you grew up in the Bible Belt, in a southern in like a Bible Belt small town, that is part of deconstructing from leaving a white town, a small town, is, oh fuck, everyone I knew was racist as shit. Though that was all racist shit they were saying. I do not feel bad for the adults one bit. They are full-grown adults. I don't give a fuck. They've been shamed. Look, they have been so successfully shamed out of society for their racist-ass beliefs that they genuinely believe they have to set up their own community. That's beautiful.